Hi, everybody. Welcome to Wise Women Amplified. I'm extremely excited to have this conversation. So for many of you, I wanted to prep you with a container. I'm always somebody that likes to have an environment for me to function optimally. So if you didn't get all of that information, make sure you have, I love to have one of my favorite essential oils. I've been having respiratory issues lately, so doTERRA's Breathe is absolutely amazing. I love it. It's good to always have an oil around, right? There's an oil for that. You're also going to want to have a journal or something that you can jot some notes down. We're going to be sharing and commenting for those of us that are live. Those of us that are watching the recording, you're able to also chime in. And then your favorite beverage. I steeped myself. I'm kind of a tea snob, so I have my cast iron tea pot here. That I'm steeping, that I'm going to enjoy with you, as well as I'm kind of a beverage person. When people go to dinner with me, or brunch is the worst, they're like, Tracy, half the table's filled with your beverages. So there's always water somewhere. And I didn't get to my smoothie this morning, so I'm going to drink it with you guys here. So I have my plethora of beverages, my oil, my journal. So make sure that you have everything to prepare. We're going to dive deep into this discussion. It's going to last for about 30 minutes. So we're not going to be going super, super long. I want us to be able to have this conversation. Just like I run every month, my Unapologetic Woman Hour, I wanted to talk a little bit more. Once we've let go and we've accessed our authentic selves, how can we amplify that? So that's what we're going to be discussing today. If you have any friends, feel free to share with them. And I'm going to, right now, on my phone, just make sure that everybody that was going to be joining us knows where we are. There we go. We're all set to get going. So I want to welcome all of you in that are joining us live for Wise Women Amplified. For those of you that don't know me, I'm Tracy of Tracy's Total Wellness, and I'm really these past several years, I've been on a mission to empower women to fully own their self-expression unapologetically. I have started to tap more into this owning self-expression because of my background in my hormone health coaching, a lot of the trauma releasing life coaching that I do, as well as my massive background in yoga and massage. I found that when women aren't leading from their power and from their passion and aren't in safe containers to shed and let go, true change doesn't occur, whether it's a hormonal issue, it's a struggle with maybe some past trauma, even just tight muscles. I found when there's not a safe container and we aren't feeling safe enough to shed and let go, to tap into that power and passion, that we can't reach our fullest potential. And I have found when I give myself containers and I spend time with people that allow me to have these containers, and I'm able to feel fully self-expressed, it creates success. Ooh, it could create that too. It creates success not only in my personal life, but my professional life. So if you're a leader, if you work in the wellness industry, or you just hold the space for people in some way. So maybe you're the leader at your local church, or you do something for your local town, or you're seen as more of a leader in your family, then you're in the right place, because today we're going to talk about how you can step up your impact that you have on others, and at the same time, enjoy your life more. Pretty exciting, right? So I want you for a moment to just jot down. We just discussed about being a leader in some aspect and wanting to make a bigger impact. I want you either in your journal, jot it down, but also share with the tribe. Type it on in with the tribe, and I can also, share with what I've heard some of my clients and some of my tribe that are offering things are saying, that what makes you feel like a leader? Like, what motivates you to feel like a leader? So for me, it's when I can see the women that I help, I can literally see their lives change. And they come to me and offer their pure gratitude. And I can also almost see their changes right in front of my eyes. It's like their physical body just changes because they've let go of so much. So that's why I see myself as a leader, is that the impact that I'm making on others, it's really changing not only whatever they're coming to me for, whether it's massage or coaching, but it's affecting their entire lives. So it's affecting the people they care about. And that's what really drives me to be a leader. So I want you for a moment to just think about that. What drives you to be a leader, whether it's just in your family life or it is in your business? So think about that, write in the comments, grab your notebook, and I, Miss Tea Snob, am going to pour my tea. And I want you to really think about it. I want you to go into the emotion behind it. Gary Zukav, if you're not familiar with him, he is absolutely amazing about talking about intention, and then everything comes from intention. So really, this is a question of intention. What drives you to be a leader, or what motivates you? What's your intention when you're in that leadership position? And I shared with you, it's really allowing people to be their best selves. Awesome. So that more people can be happy. Yes. Another one. Yes. So that more people can feel like they can be themselves. When I myself as a leader, yes, more people can feel like they can be themselves. Those are some really big ones. Yeah, making a difference. Yes, sharing your gifts. I love that one. We all have specific gifts to give. Just like we're all one because we're all human, we all are different in our gifts so that we all collectively can share them. I love that. Keep on sharing throughout this, even if you're listening to the recording. It's all about that community, right? Let's motivate and be with each other. So currently right now, a stat came out from the Institute for the Psychology of Eating that 61% of women confess that they are anxious daily about their bodies, about how they look and are perceived by others. I'm really over this stat, but I've seen it pop up time and time again. We really need to step up as leaders, the impact that we are making to really create this ripple effect of change so that people out there don't feel anxious about what others are perceiving them as. I always talk about living life unapologetically, but we as leaders, we need to step up to the plate, really. We need to step up and we need to really stick into our intentions and really help some of these people that are struggling with this anxiety or worry about what other people think. So today, I want to just overview what we're going to go through. We're going to really talk about how to amplify your work and your life and how you can create harmony. So every month I join in circle together with heart-centered business owners here in Orlando called Wise Working Women. And Wise Women Amplified came from this, where I saw a need for this Wise Working Women where we could really create a safe container to express ourselves and to clearly listen. And when we do that, we not only network better, we're just more of ourselves. And it's been amazing to see some of these women come in just from having a safe container. All we do is sit in circle. We're not at a bar or a restaurant. We sit in circle. And when we go around the room and we share our intentions for our work-life harmony, some women that have been there for the first time that barely know anybody, they tear up. They already start to cry because there's a container giving them permission to express themselves. And I found that extremely powerful. And the massive amount of change and success and goals achieved and even life, like relationships getting better, people finally going on these vacations they've always wanted to, finding their new home. These things have happened in the container of Wise Working Women. And I wanted to branch out into a little bit more expanded container with this Wise Women Amplified from Wise Working Women. So the biggest thing that I found is through working with all of these women is how easy and effective it can be. So we're going to talk about how easy and effective things can start to be in your life when you tap in to your intention and your power as a leader and amplify it. We're also going to really talk about how to amplify containers. I can't say it enough. If you're not in a safe container, it is the likelihood of you actually being able to speak your truth or stand up for what you believe in or even be seen in your authentic leadership, it's not as likely. And some of you have probably been in environments or with specific people before where you didn't feel this. So we're going to talk a lot about containers and why they are extremely powerful. We're also going to talk about why we stay stuck. And I'm going to get real with you. I'm going to share some of my stories. I'm going to share some things that I've heard from clients or from women that have come to my Wise Working Women circles. You know, why do we stay stuck? If we want to change, why don't we just change, right? So I want to dive deep into that as well. And I'm going to go through this cycle that has been around for ages that can help us to understand why we stay stuck. And the other thing that I want to talk about is this number one tool. So at the end, I'm going to share with you, I'd like to call it my little secret, that I use in the amplification and actually why it changed everything for me. It changed my sales. It changed my relationships. It changed my health. It changed my referrals. It changed time. Let's just say everything, right? So I want to share that with you as my, I like to call them the super ooey gooey, sweet secret right at the end. So I want to take you for a moment on what's called a hero's journey. So for any of you out there that aren't familiar with this, it's by a beautiful man named Joseph Campbell. So you're more than welcome to research him online. He's got great books. He's got a lot of things going on, but I'm going to pop up a photo so you can really see what I'm talking about. Now, I just pulled this right from the web. There are other descriptions of this as well. So we're going to discuss a little bit about what the hero's journey means and what it's all about. So let me pull that photo up. I couldn't find it right there. Here it is. So I'm going to just pop this up right there. Awesome. So if you see here in the hero's journey, I got to get it so you can actually see it. The lighting's a little off. There we go. Yeah. Okay. So if you notice here on the hero's journey, there's a man and he's going through his journey. I'm going to discuss with you a little bit about what this journey actually is. So number one, if you notice, the first part of this man's journey, I get it. Yeah, if I put it over there, I can see it better, is his call to adventure. So as he's going through, starting his journey, he's on his call to adventure. Your call, like what are you called to do? We look at this as somebody going on, say, a personal development experience. You could notice this, right? So call to adventure. After that, they're moving from the threshold of the known into the unknown, meaning there's things that this person already knows about their journey, and now they're going to move into potential unknowns, like, ooh, I'm going to a foreign country for vacation. There's going to be unknowns that I don't understand. Then there are the challenges and the temptations. And we're going to be talking a lot about that later, and I'm going to show you some strategies that I use. After that, there's a revelation. I like to call this, it's the darkest before the dawn, and it tends to always occur. Just like, I share this with my massage clients a lot, just like when you go to the gym, you tear tiny parts of your muscle when you are building up strength. Then the muscle has to rest, and then the muscle strengthens. So this revelation is almost the tears that we might have in our life or our relationships or our personal development, anything like that. And then we have the atonement, which is looking at all of the revelations and the challenges and really using them as tools to actually grow stronger. Then we move back into the known. So we've been in the unknown. I don't know what heck's going on. Sorry about that. I don't know what the heck's going on. And now we're going to move back into the known, and we've returned, almost like we've returned back to our community. And we're sharing that, as I like to call it, different version of ourselves. I love this description of the hero's journey, and all of you probably have had some of this. So if any of you out there, you're like, oh yeah, I've been on some hero's journeys, whether it was something personally that happened to you that you grew from and it actually created a ripple effect of change in the people's lives you know. Could have been a personal development thing. Maybe you did go on this trip of a lifetime and you had all these revelations on the trip. But I want you for a moment just to think about that. Have any of you already been on hero's journeys? And you can chime in, you can jot it down in your journal, but think about that for a moment. Awesome. And I'm going to encourage you to still really get introspective about this and take some time after we're done to dive even deeper. So I want to share with you, since I was talking about that work-life harmony and how I really facilitate that for women at Wise Working Women, I want to share with you how my work and my life kind of took me on a hero's journey. So when I started really wanting to do this, I knew where I was, maybe I couldn't make the biggest impact. So I decided to move all the way from my hometown it's right on the border of Pennsylvania and New York, all the way down to Orlando. And it was a big jump for me. It was like my own hero's journey. But I knew that I wanted to do the work that I was doing. And I didn't want to just go get a regular job. Like my business meant something to me. And the journey of building my business, I'll tell you right now, being a business owner is a personal development journey for sure. And so when I was out there just trying things out, I had moved into that realm of unknown. Like, I don't know if I start these events, or I don't know if I go to these networking meetings, if I'm going to meet anybody, if it's going to make an impact. And it was scary. It was scary at first, and I had to be very courageous. I had to constantly keep putting myself out there and being vulnerable. And when I finally got traction and I decided to start doing these women's circles, these Wise Working Women circles, at first I felt like I had to do it all on my own. At that point, I was, working one-to-one clients, whether it was coaching or massage. I was the one creating the events, finding the space for the events, filling the seats for the events, running the events, cleaning up after the events. I was doing it all. And I wondered where I would get enough time to do all the other things I needed to do, from the technical stuff for my business to even just sales conversations as business owners. We call it lead generation, all that technical stuff. I didn't know how I could get it all done, but I knew what I was doing was something I wanted to do. So on a hero's journey, what happens is we go through a development. So I went through a lot of massive personal work. I was very ill in my 20s. I was misdiagnosed. I was tired and depressed all the time, and no one could figure out why. It was a really, really dark part of my time, my life, as I call it, right? That revelation. But when I actually was able to start to express myself, say what I needed, go to the right doctors that I knew were going to help me, go to the right professionals, and stand up for me, my body, and got better, it was life-changing for me. And that is why on my hero's journey of going through all of that, getting into that darkest before the dawn, transforming through all of that, having people there to support me, returning back, right, to my community and wanting to do this work, I was on my next hero's journey of, okay, I'm better now personally. How can I move into this professionally. And I'll tell you right now, new level, new devil, people. It's just how life is. And I realized on my next journey of working on my business, I started to lose my health again. That got my darkest before the dawn because my health started to diminish again. I got all those hormonal issues that I had before. And all the ladies that are listening to this, you know when you have cray-cray hormones. You know what's going on, right? And I always like to say, if there's any men watching, you know what cray-cray lady with cray-cray hormones looks like, right? So all those health issues that I thought I had fixed and that wasn't my life anymore started to come back. And it was extremely, extremely disheartening for me. I started to lose hope. I got into a depression again. It's like, crap. I'm on this mission. I want to help all these people. And now I'm starting to feel that way again. What the heck? It's like I wasted all that time. But I realized I was on a new journey. But the mountain was just a little bit more intense this time. So I had to set more containers. So I want to share with you where I got stuck on this second level of hero's journey, starting my business, doing the work I do now. Hi, my name is Tracy, and I'm a control freak. Hi, Tracy. I always said if there was a Control Freaks Anonymous, I would be there. How many of you out there? Like, yes? Yeah, we all have some control freaks out there. I felt like I was doing it all alone, and it felt extremely isolating. But it was because I was trying to control everything, and I wasn't asking anybody for help. I wasn't using my community, and it was so crazy because people would be asking me to help, even from the littlest things of setting up the chairs at meetings. And I would say, no, I got it. I want everybody else to be okay. And I got into this mindset of like others and others and others and others. I talk about this a lot with my coaching clients, is focusing so much more about others. Remember that quote that I said before about 61% of anxiety in women is about how they're going to be perceived by others? I became that stat. So for a moment, I just want to get, if it's okay, a little vulnerable with you. And I'm always here to share my story so that hopefully it can make an impact in someone's life. I felt extremely isolated. I would be going to these events, running phenomenal events, meeting great people, working with amazing clients. And I would come home at night and cry myself to sleep. I felt like a fraud. I questioned if I should even do this work anymore. My business became one of the biggest stressors in my life, and it was heartbreaking. It broke my heart. I want this so much. Why do I feel this way? It gets me every time, sorry. I want this so much. I want to make an impact on other people's lives. Why do I feel so all alone? So I want to share with you this amazing quote that I found when I was doing a lot of research on depression. It's something I do a lot of research on because I got misdiagnosed on that earlier journey of having depression and got put on all these meds that ended me up in the hospital when I had low progesterone and low thyroid. So I'm somebody that's always making sure that whomever is struggling, that they actually know where the root cause of their struggle comes from. And depression is just near and dear to my heart because it ended me up in a not such a good place. So this man, Kevin Briel, shared this amazing stat about depression. And I was like, yes, that's totally me. And probably people out there, you can relate to this. So what you really feel the most isn't the suffering inside of you. It's the stigma inside of others. It's the shame. It's the embarrassment. It's the disapproving look of a friend's face. It's the whispers in the hallway that you're weak. It's the comments that you're crazy. That's what keeps you from getting help. I was like, shit, that's me. And that's a lot of other people that I've seen. It's the worry about what other people are thinking and doing, and we can't control what other people are thinking and doing. That stops so many people from getting help. It stopped me from getting help way, way, way back when I was struggling with my health. And it stopped me from getting help when my business became overwhelming. And so that's where it came full circle. And that's why I wanted to come live today and share all of this with you. It is full circle, right? So it got to me because I was supposed to be the professional, right? So I can't be perceived as weak. I can't have those bad days. I can't feel sad. I can't feel frustrated with my business. I have to be looked at as the leader and the professional. What I realized is that's just fake. We all struggle. We're all human beings. But your certainty will overcome your doubt any day. And so I was certain that I was a fraud. And so that's what I got. And what it started to do is I started to get a climb, and I started to get all these clients, make more money, have successful events, to not as many people were showing up to my events. I was losing clients. I was losing money because I became certain that I was a fraud. Who would want to pay money to be helped by a fraud? When before I was certain about my intention, my drive, why I wanted to be a business owner, why I wanted to be a leader. And so I gained traction. And I'm going to be sharing something with you at the end where it was the one thing that helped me get out of my control freakness, as I call it, and start asking for more help. And it wasn't easy for me. So I'm going to share with you at the end how it can be much easier, much more effective for you. So your patterns will win over your knowledge any day of the week. They have for me. Patterns meaning the thought processes you have. If you just decide to hit snooze every morning, that pattern is going to win over you knowing that you should get out of bed so you don't have to rush and get ready. Or even the knowledge of knowing, right, you should eat every day, eat healthy foods, exercise, all these things we know. Why don't we do them? Because our patterns win over our knowledge every single day of the week. 80% of success, and this is something I learned from Tony Robbins. He's pretty big. He knows a lot of stuff. So I trust this statistic. 80% of success comes from your mindset. Yeah, your mindset. And I had to get really clear with that. And I realized my mindset was being ran by my control freak and my fraud and my self-doubter. So no wonder why that's what I was getting in my business. And it does trickle into your life. Instead, what we need to do then is use this stat as a strength. You can take action daily with an unstoppable attitude. But I'm going to be sharing with you what is the number one thing that'll keep you more consistent with this. Because it's easy to have an unstoppable attitude one day and then something happens and then we just go back to the old way of being. So I'm going to share with you how you can keep it more consistent. So I want to share with you 3 needs that every human being has to have. They have to feel like they're worthy of love, that they are loved. They also have to feel like what they have to say or their presence matters. So they have to feel like they belong. They also have to feel like they're safe. And so when I began these Wise Working Women, and I run many other events, from events at the beach to seasonal events to group work, I run the gamut of things now. These are the 3 things I always make sure at every single event, every single person that gets on a massage table, every single person that works with me coaching, even every single person when I'm teaching yoga. If you've ever followed some of my yoga videos, number 1, I create safe containers. Listen to your body over your ego, right? I make sure these 3 things are always there. Number 1, I make sure that there is a safe container created. I'm not going to have people trying to do this deep personal work at a rock concert. A spa might be a better place, right? I'm going to put everybody in circles so they can feel seen, they can feel heard, and they actually can see that them being there matters. I have everybody share. so that they can express themselves and they can really, really realize to themselves that they matter. And by getting those two things, people do feel a lot more loved. Even in a room full of strangers, as I mentioned in these networking circles, somebody has come the first time and was given a safe container and the ability to finally express herself as she started crying in the first 10 minutes of the meeting in a room full of strangers. To me, that's powerful, that she felt safe enough to be vulnerable that quickly. So in a moment, I am going to share with you what did I want to call it? The secrets in this brain that can help you to get this a lot faster and much more effectively, so you don't have to go through all the challenges that I went through. So I'm excited to do that. So I want to focus now on that hero's journey, but I want to focus on how, if we ask for help and we use community more, how it can actually give us an easier hero's journey. So another stat from Tony Robbins said is, perfection is the worst form of human standard. We are not meant to be perfect. We're meant to be us. That's why it irks me sometimes when somebody will give me like food from their garden and it tastes absolutely amazing, but maybe it's not perfectly shaped. And then I go to the grocery store and it's like perfectly shaped. It kind of irks me. It's like, well, what did they do to make it that perfect? So perfection is the worst form of human standard. And because of that, perfection, 50% of people, they give up on the first no. And this is across the board. This is from relationships, or say first dates, or asking somebody out. This could be in business. 50% of people give up on the first no. If you look at the stats of some of these other people out there, like Michael Jordan's a really great stat. I don't have it in front of me, but he was told no a lot before he became famous and one of the most known athletes of all time. He was told no a lot. There's actors out there, I think like Morgan Freeman, he was told no and didn't get like his first movie role, I want to say in his like 40s or 50s. It's mind-boggling, right? But these are people that everybody knows, right? So those are the people that stopped thinking that they needed to be perfect and started saying yes to themselves even when others were saying no. A no can be a redirect over a rejection. I'm going to say that again. And this could be oh yeah, Tracy, I like it. This can be a commenting below. This can write down in your journal moment. We can redirect over feeling rejected. One of my favorite examples of this, and my coach brought it up on one of our tradie calls, and I was so excited when she did, is I Love Friends, the sitcom. And there's this, one of my favorite scenes is the pivot scene. Any of you out there that if you know the Friends pivot scene with the couch, like hit like. I'm going to try and find it when I'm done and I'll put it in the comments. It's just a really funny scene where they're trying to carry a couch up a flight of stairs that's constantly circling up, and it's not fitting very well. And Ross just keeps yelling, pivot, pivot. And it's absolutely hilarious. So I recommend you watching the scene. It's not very long, but it's extremely funny. But it's a great example of redirection over rejection. In this funny example, if they didn't constantly pivot, that couch would have never gotten up the stairs. But if they decided the first time the couch hit the wall that they were going to quit, that couch would have stayed down in the bottom part of the building and potentially gotten stolen, and it wouldn't be in their apartment. So it's a really funny example of redirection over rejection. And we can pivot in many areas of our lives. The thing that I realized is how long are we going to live in the land of perfection and suffer before we decide to pivot? We all have kind of our suffer odometer. I'll suffer this much before I change. And in a moment, as I mentioned, I'm going to share with you how you don't need to suffer as much anymore. You don't need to suffer as long as I did. I've been trying to shift my suffer odometer so that I'm not suffering as long. So I want to go through that hero's journey again that I shared from Joseph Campbell and show you how it can be easier. So we're called to an adventure, right? We have an intention. There's something that we want to do. For me, starting my business, there's this it's called like the supernatural aid. It's like that deep, deep wanting, yearning inside of us. The easiest way to say it is intention. I have found when we share with other people our call to adventure, we get more amped up about it, and we actually are more motivated to keep moving into our venture. When you're moving from that threshold of the the known, of I know I'm going to go on this adventure, into the unknown of I don't know what's going to go on, if you've shared your adventure with others, it makes the unknown not as scary. Third, we're moving through those challenges and temptations. And remember how I said in the beginning, dun, 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 this is where a lot of people do feel stuck. And a lot of people will be the 50% of people that quit. If you have helpers, you have mentors, you have people that can see inside of you what you don't see yet, you'll be able to get through the challenges. There's some of mine that I didn't, like I thought about quitting last year, like quitting my job. It was stressful. It made my health get all messed up again. I really thought about quitting. I didn't know what else I wanted to do. Like it literally felt like my life was going to be over because this is my passion. If it wasn't for my mentors, if it wasn't for my community of other amazing entrepreneurs, if it wasn't for my friends, I probably would have quit. And so other people literally not only saved my career, but saved my life. Then the next step in the hero's journey is the revelation, the darkest before the dawn. This is where I talk about that suffering odometer. We have to express what's going on. I like to say, if you're standing in shit, you have to acknowledge that you're standing in shit. We have to acknowledge sometimes that things suck. And when we try and resist it, I do this all of the time with my clients. I said, if you don't remember anything from our work together, is please don't bullshit affirmations. Affirmations are amazing and they can be supportive. They can also be a detriment, and they were for me for a while. I was bullshitting affirmations for years. My life is great. I have all the money that I want. I'm in an amazing relationship. There's part of me that's like, bullshit. No, you're not. You're alone. You're struggling to pay your bills. Bullshit. So I had to redirect affirmations. And I had to acknowledge, yeah, right now it sucks, but I know it's going to get better. I acknowledged the shit I was standing in. And you know what happened then? I knew it was there. I could clean it up. So many people walk around standing in shit, not acknowledging it. And then what happens? The shit starts to smell worse and worse and worse, meaning their life starts to get worse and worse and worse. They have to acknowledge the dark. It's there for a reason. It's darkest before the sun rises. It gives that light and that sunrise such power. Have any of you, if you have, hit a like or a love, like been in awe of a sunrise? I remember waking up at a yoga convention on the coast of Florida and seeing the sunrise over the ocean, and it was awe-inspiring. So there's a reason I asked to be darkest before the dawn, or we couldn't get those awe-inspiring sunrises over the ocean. We couldn't, if we don't sit in our darkness and we express what's going on and we acknowledge what's feeling shitty right now, then when we get out of it, we can acknowledge it so much more. And I had to see the gifts in the dark, because when I didn't, it brought me dis-ease. Being an empath, what I have found is I can feel people's pressure of holding everything in way more intensely than if somebody is expressing their emotion. It affects me. From even a client like resisting the discomfort on my massage table, to a coaching client just resisting having that difficult conversation with me or saying everything's fine, as I said before, right? Bullshitting affirmations. I can feel that way more, and it does affect me. I have to make sure I set boundaries and stuff. So it brings dis-ease when you don't acknowledge yourself and just deal with the darkness. Now, it was hard for me to do it on my own. So again, this is where I had helpers that came in. And I had people that I could feel could hold the space for me. This is the easiest way to say it, where some of them were people in my business community where I said, things suck right now. I have this great purpose, this great passion, And my business sucks right now. I'm pissed off at my business. It's causing my health issues to come back because I'm so stressed about everything. Not making enough money. I know I'm worth more. It's just pissing me off. And when I was able to not be a fraud, I didn't have that belief anymore, and that pattern went away. Instead of me coming home from doing all this great work and crying myself to sleep, being lonely, when I finally acknowledged with other people and I wasn't a fraud, and I knew the people I could acknowledge it to, talk about the stuff I didn't want to talk about because I wanted people to think I was a perfect leader and I was a perfect professional, then that pattern started to win. I started to become more of me. And since then, I've started to grow a stronger business, but also a stronger Tracy. The next step on the hero's journey is called transformation. This is where, when you have the mindset of our challenges are our greatest gifts, you can find the gifts in your challenges a lot. Excuse me. I got a ribbit frog stuck in my throat. There we go. So when you can see your challenges as your greatest gifts and already have that mindset, when you're going through them, it's a lot easier. I wouldn't have ever been able to have that mindset if it wasn't for my other coaches. And so sometimes when I'm with my clients, I talk about me being on the phone with my coach. Like, wait, you have a coach? I go, yeah, coaches need coaches. Massage therapists need to get massages, right? We need support too. And so making sure that I get the support to take care of myself, it makes my challenges a lot easier. The next step on the hero's journey is atonement. Reconciling whatever needs to be reconciled. That could be from cleaning up whatever happened from the challenges or the darkness. Sometimes I've had to make amends because when I was going through all my stuff, I wasn't the best version of me, whatever it might be. When I'm able to just be honest with people, you know, the amount of respect I get versus when I say that, oh, you know, it's life, or it's just the way it is, and I know you're better off that way, and whatever it might be. When I'm just honest that, hey, you know, I could have behaved better. How much respect that gives other people. When you try and just poo-poo your poor behavior or poo-poo mistakes or whatever's going on, it's extremely disrespectful to other people. When you're honest with other people, you know how much respect they feel? It's truly powerful. And that's across the gamut, right? We're talking about this work-life harmony. Everything just works all together. Your work, your life, it all kind of comes together. This is something we could express about in our relationships all the way to our job, right? So the next step in the hero's journey is moving again from that threshold of unknown. All that other stuff we were talking about, a lot of that's unknown. We're moving back into the known. We're getting close to the end of our journey. When you created at the beginning of your journey very clear action steps, had an unstoppable attitude, moving back to the known, going through those challenges easier, being honest with people easier, you know what happens is when you show up as that transformed version of you, people don't resist it as much because you've welcomed them into your journey and they actually have gotten the courage to change and transform themselves. So when I work with clients, I'll tell them this all the time. You're doing deep, deep work right now. You're going to show up changed in your community. 3 things are going to happen. One of these three things, I guarantee it. The people in your life are going to notice that you have changed. They might not say it in a way. It might just be in their subconscious mind or their nervous system reacts to it. You're showing up as a different version of you, which means your behaviors will change. Sometimes your vocabulary changes. You change. Either of those people are going to accept it because they see the change and they feel safe enough to work on their own change and level their own lives up. Or their fear is going to kick in. Oh, that's mirroring something in my life that I'm not ready to deal with, and they're going to fight it or they're going to run away from it. They could potentially freeze, but I see most people fight or run away from it. And when I did some of my deep level work, and I would put myself back in some of my communities that I've had for a long time, they actually would make fun of me. And back then, because I didn't know everything I knew, it hurt a lot. And it made me understand the power of community and why we need people that are on this journey of leveling up. But that doesn't mean we have to kick other people out of our lives. It's always so I call it yes and more mentality, not either or. But in the beginning, I didn't know there was a choice of yes and more. It hurt. And now I can go in changed, stand up for my integrity, my boundaries, and other people in my life are leveling up too, because I brought them in on my journey. So then that last step of returning back to your community, if you make clear actions, you're in that unstoppable attitude, then you're coming back to your community as a different version of you, but it's not such a quick shock for their nervous system because they've seen the change on the journey. You brought them in to the journey, and it is a true gift when we bring other people into our lives, into our heroes' journeys. And then what happens, everyone? We're on to the next hero's journey. 'Tis life. So I want to share with you now some of these tools, what I had mentioned before, how I can make this journey for you easier and you don't have to go through as much stuff as I went through on a personal and a professional level. I'm going to go a little bit more professional for a moment, but I'm going to show you how this can actually be shifted to personal as well. So for me, I found, and this is a stat, that referrals are the best way of lead generation. Word of mouth, right? Everybody knows this. It's in business, but also in life. Like, people probably say, wow, I met Tracy. She's super fun to hang out with. And I've actually gotten new friends that way. Like, I met them randomly at another place. Like, hey, somebody told me that we would get along really well. And it's actually how I made all my friends in Florida, I guess, through referrals. So it's lead generation for friends too. But it's been in my business the best way to create leads. 20% is the nuts and bolts of everything else. So referrals is 80% of your lead generation. And then 20% is nuts and bolts. 20% meaning, the sales calls you got to make, meaning the website you're building, the content you're creating for your business, yada, yada, yada. But 80% of it, they have found, is that referrals are the best way for lead generation. I think that's absolutely amazing, because to me, referrals are like, you're super cool, and I want other people to know you're super cool. It's that simple. So being yourself, having an unstoppable attitude, bringing people into your own hero's journey is a way to actually get referrals. And since I've been more transparent in my business and with my community, I've had to work way less since I've asked for help. And referrals have been the one way I ask for help. I run really fun contests in my community. If you refer me this many people, hey, get on my massage table for free, or get to present at one of my meetings for free sponsorship to one of my events. I take care of my people because my people are what keep me alive and afloat. And referrals have just transformed my business and in ways I didn't realize. And it's not icky or taking from somebody. It's actually giving more. Remember how I said, if you're open and honest with people, it is showing them utter respect. People have actually come up to me like, thank you for finally asking me to refer you. I've been wanting to, and all you need to do is give me permission. It's respectful. So that's why the leadership that you have and that you're creating can really affect the success of your business or your community or your family. When you can step up and be a leader and have an unstoppable mindset, it really does affect everyone in your lives. So I'm going to show you for just briefly my journey of 3 years of doing this, okay? So in 3 years of me doing a lot of this work and having my mentors and being on this hero's journey, now I fill all of my events and all of my programs 90% or 100% to capacity every single time. Now, it took me 3 years to do that, but now I can tell you, I don't have to worry about filling events. I know it's going to happen. 50% of my sales come from referrals. 50%. It's absolutely amazing. I have higher client value and success now in less time. My programs used to be much longer. Things I do much longer. Yes, thank you, Liz. There'll be a recording of it. So I have higher client value and higher success rate with less time now because we just get to the point and we get real. And I actually have more time for my self-care and my loved ones. And last year, I actually started traveling up to New York and getting to do the work that I love back in my hometown, which has been something I really wanted to do. And so now I'm up in New York running retreats. I'll be there soon, getting to see massage clients there. And it's truly amazing that I get to do that. What this all is I had to create a yes and more, not an either or. And what I realized and what I wanted to do, Wise Women Amplified, is for any of you out there that, that are in a leadership position, that frog's back. So any of you that are in a leadership position, I can help you get to these successes in less time than it took me. You know what? It was that transformation and atonement in the hero's journey. Well, I'm going to show you the gifts from all my challenges so yours don't have to last as long. So you can learn from my challenges that I faced in my own hero's journey of creating this massive amount of community of Tracy's Total Wellness. You can also get all of like my secrets and the things that helped me to level up. And you can travel through it more with more confidence. Your darkest before the dawns don't have to be as dark as mine were. And why I want to do this and why I'm deciding to start to do this in 2020 is where I'm really going to be exploding with this is we need leaders to level up and create massive impact now. There's a lot of stuff going on in our country, in our world right now. We need more leaders to step up. So that means we got to deal with our own personal stuff, people, and step up to the plate. The world needs us. And I'm not saying that in a selfish way or an egotistical way. I'm saying it in a human, compassion, loving way. If that hero's journey for you and you know that you're a leadership, and again, as I said at the beginning, even if it's somebody that is working just as a leader in their church community or in their town, or they help run a farmer's market, or it's a business owner, or even if you're a manager at an office, if you're in a leadership position, we need you to step up to the plate. And this is a call to all parents. Parents are leadership. We need you all to step up to the plate. So I want you for a moment, we're just going to take a brief, just quick couple breaths in. I'm going to grab some of my oil again. We're just going to close our eyes for a moment. And as you close your eyes, begin to just breathe in. Breathing in through the nose, expand the belly. And out through the nose, relax. Just tapping in with the breath in and the breath out. And I want you for a moment to, in your mind's eye, see you as your highest potential. See you coming back from your hero's journey of tapping into the potential you have as a leader. And I want you to start to vividly see this version of you in your mind's eye. What clothes is she wearing? How does she hold her body? Who is she with or not with? What is she saying or not saying? As you breathe, I want you to get very clear in your mind's eye of this version of you, your highest potential as a leader. And once you've accessed that, I want you to have her turn and face you. And as you're looking in her eyes, I want you to realize it's the same pair of eyes. You are her, she is you. This is you at the end of your hero's journey of stepping into your highest potential as a leader. And I would love for you to ask her, she can whisper it to you or just share it, if there's one tip or secret that she can share with you to make your hero's journey of accessing her a little bit easier, what might it be? Just listen. Great. Making sure that you've accessed that, saying thank you. And begin to breathe deeper as you just see her fade away into you. not away from you, into you. A nice deep breath in and open your eyes. So I would love for any of you that are feeling called to jot down in the comments what came to you. Make sure you write it in your journal. When I did this exercise and it got me out of my control freak stubbornness, my potential leader, highest potential leader, said to me, ask for help. And that's what I've been doing, and things have become a lot easier. So this is what's possible for you. You can level up your hero's journey and become an epic leader. So I want to share with you an opportunity for those that are local in Orlando, and then also share with you what I have coming up in the works for those of you that are virtual or maybe live up in my hometown. This is for anybody that's a leader in their industry or their family, their town, with their friends. If you're not local and you want to do this, you want to do it virtually or you want to do it in New York, comment below, because I want to get an idea of how many people are really called to do this in other areas. I'm doing it first in Orlando because, as I had mentioned, those 3 years of me creating community, I want to offer this community this gift. We are doing what I'm calling, drumroll, Wise Working Women Amplified workshops, where we're going to get together and we're going to create this safe container, feel heard, feel loved, and start creating massive action and going through that hero's journey of stepping into a leader effectively and more easy with massive impact. So my first one coming up is Thursday, October 16th from 10 a.m. to 11:30 a.m. at the Royal Mirage Spa near SeaWorld, where I run my Wise Working Women circles as well. It's an amazing space, and you can go through the workshop and then get a spa service at a discounted rate. Isn't that cool? I love it. What I'm gonna do is I'm gonna teach you how to lead people and yourself through that hero's journey. We're gonna dive deeper into each of those steps, and we're actually going to, through this journey, I'm gonna share with you all of my experiences. Remember, you don't have to suffer as long as I did, so that you can more quickly have more referrals, have more income, have more program and event fulfillment. So I'm going to show you the from one-to-one to one-to-many model and how it is possible with everyone, whether you're a massage therapist that works on clients, you can do a one-to-many model. It's empowering and it's epic. More peace of mind, more time, which is the biggest one I have found. And it wouldn't be a Tracy's Total Wellness event if there wasn't more fun. We have to have more fun in our business and our lives. This first workshop, because it's something I'm bringing to my community, I'm offering it at a very super low rate. And this will begin to go up as I create these workshops more and more. So if you want to get it on the ground floor, it's only $40. This is the 16th of October from 10 a.m. to 11:30 at Royal Mirage for only $40. Now, today is September 26th, so whether you're listening to this recording later or you are live with me now, if you sign up today, you get a free VIP lunch with me from 11:30 to 12:30, right after the workshop. I'm going to fill you with nourishing food, and we're going to dive deeper into conversation, and you can pick my brain even more. It's going to be, all right, Tracy, what are the other challenges you didn't tell us in the workshop? What are the other shits you stood in that you want to acknowledge so that we can be aware of it? You literally can just pick my brain while we enjoy nourishing food. So I'm sharing this with you, but I also want to let you know this is limited to only 15 people. This is because of the capacity of the spa. But I also want more intimacy so that everybody has an opportunity to workshop and be heard and get all the value. There's no sales page for this. You're not going to find it anywhere else because of the intimacy factor. I'm just sharing this with you so that you can get this opportunity. So if you have questions for me, comment below or shoot me an email. You can let me know if we need to hop on the phone. You just let me know whatever questions that you have and I can answer them. So this is a $40 epic investment that is gonna be amazing. It can literally change your life for $40. That's a non-refundable $40, but it is if something occurs, you can give the gift to another woman or it's transferable to another Tracy's Total Wellness event. Wise Working Women Amplified. Doesn't that feel amazing? Well, I didn't forget, and I want to share with you that #1 secret. that I have mentioned several times, and you're probably like, when's she going to tell me the secret? This is the #1 secret, and I've actually talked about it several times. Last year at an event, I actually won an award for this. Community. Community is the #1 tool for everything. Personal development, professional development. Community will get you more referrals. Community will get you more money. Community will get you more peace of mind. Community will get you more event program fulfillment. It'll get you more time. You'll have more fun. It'll get you more friends. It'll get you more of your life back. Community is everything. We are on this planet to be with others. We are on this planet to belong, to find our purpose of why we are here, to express ourselves and to feel loved. We need to be in safe community to make that happen. And as a leader, this is something you need to begin to create in your community. I'm in other communities as a participant because I need to be, but I have massively stepped up what the Tracy's Total Wellness community is as a leader. And it has transformed other people's lives and my life. So if it's the one thing you take away from this, be in safe community. Be in safe community. So I want you to just comment so that everybody can see it. And also you'd probably want to journal it down. Ahas, insights or appreciations from our conversation today about being amplified. We talked about a lot. A lot of it was around the Joseph Campbell's Hero's Journey. We talked a lot about your getting out of your head. We had a Control Freaks Anonymous meeting. We talked about unstoppable attitude, realizing that your patterns win over knowledge any day. We talked about my journey and feeling isolated and like a fraud, and how when I changed my focus and I pivoted, things changed. So I want you to just jot down and share with the tribe your ahas, your insights, and your appreciations, because what that'll do, it'll put things into action for you. The one way to put into action for any of you women that are in Orlando, if you want to join me for Wise Women Amplified, I would love to have you. It can be that catalyst for the change in your leadership that you want. For those of you that aren't live, please let me know. Remember, I'm letting go of my control freak and asking for help. If you want me to do these virtually, if you want me to do these when I'm up in New York, I will do them. I will step up to be your leader if you want it. So make sure you let me know if this is something you'd like virtually or also up north. So again, my Wise Women Amplified workshop, teaching you how to lead people and yourself through that hero's journey to create massive impact using the secret community, again, is happening Thursday, October 16th from 10 to 11:30 at the Royal Mirage Spa by SeaWorld. For those that sign up today, you get that VIP lunch with me from 11:30 to 12:30. I cannot wait to be in a room full of powerhouse women ready for massive impact the rest of this year and into next year. As the Rolling Stones say, you can't always get what you want. What I've come to find in my journey, you get what you commit to in the mindset you have. So actually, the Rolling Stones might have been a liar. You can get what you want if you're in the right mindset. Time is the only thing that is fair in each and every one of our lives. Other people might have a bigger, nicer car, a bigger, nicer house. We all have the exact same amount of time. What are you going to do with your time? Will you give yourself the time to tap into your potential, go through your hero's journey, do your work? Or will you give yourself the time to feel isolated and like a fraud? We all get the same amount of time. So again, Wise Women, because it's not just for business owners, it's for leaders. Wise Women Amplified, Thursday, October 16th, 10 to 11:30 here in Orlando. $40 plus the option of the VIP lunch if you sign up today, Thursday, September 26th. And go out and be your fantastic potential. Thank you, everybody, for joining me. I am Tracy of Tracy's Total Wellness, and be well. Have a great day.